Are you truly prepared for the challenges that the 21st century is unfolding before us? This question is not merely a fleeting thought. My book, 21 Lessons for the 21st Century, attempts to provide some clarity amidst this bewildering landscape. For much of the 20th century, humanity lived by grand stories. These narratives, liberalism, fascism, communism, guided us. The liberal story emerged victorious. But now, these narratives are crumbling. Events like the 2008 financial crash and climate change have shaken their foundations. People are losing trust in institutions. This disillusionment creates a vacuum of meaning. Without new narratives, people become disoriented. We see a resurgence of nationalism and fundamentalism. The challenge is to construct new, resilient narratives. Understanding this disillusionment is crucial. The quest for new meaning is urgent. One of the most immediate and tangible challenges of the 21st century is the future of work. But what happens when artificial intelligence and automation become capable of performing not just manual labor, but also complex cognitive tasks? We are on the cusp of a technological revolution that could render many human skills obsolete. This isn't just about factory workers losing jobs to robots. It's about drivers, doctors, lawyers, and even artists facing competition from sophisticated algorithms. The implications are profound and far-reaching. The question then becomes, what will people do all day? How will societies provide for those who cannot find employment? And perhaps most importantly, how will individuals find meaning and purpose in a world where their labor is no longer needed? Beyond skills, we must also confront the existential questions about the meaning of life. The future of work is not just an economic issue, it is a deeply philosophical one that touches the core of our human experience. We are currently living through an unprecedented data deluge. Every click, every search, every purchase, and every interaction online generates vast amounts of information. This big data is being collected and analyzed by corporations and governments at an astonishing rate. While this data can be used for immense good, improving healthcare, optimizing transportation, and personalizing education, it also poses a significant threat to our liberty. The algorithms that sift through this data are becoming increasingly sophisticated, capable of understanding us better than we understand ourselves. This knowledge can be used to predict our behaviors, influence our decisions, and even manipulate our emotions. The concentration of so much data in the hands of a few entities creates a dangerous power imbalance. We need greater transparency about how our data is collected and used. Ultimately, the battle for liberty in the 21st century will be fought on the digital frontier, and it requires us to be vigilant guardians of our autonomy and our right to think for ourselves, free from unseen manipulation. The revolutions in artificial intelligence and biotechnology are not just transforming our work and our liberties, they are also threatening to create unprecedented levels of inequality. Historically, inequality was often based on the ownership of land or industrial machinery. In the 21st century, the most valuable asset is increasingly becoming data and the algorithms that can process it. Those who own the data and control the AI systems will wield immense power, potentially leading to a new kind of global stratification that could be far more extreme than anything seen before in human history. One of the most alarming prospects is the potential for a biotechnological divide. As biotechnology advances, it may become possible to upgrade human bodies and brains to enhance physical abilities, cognitive functions, and even lifespans. If these enhancements are expensive and available only to a wealthy elite, humanity could split into biological castes. The challenge is to ensure that the benefits of AI are shared broadly, not hoarded by a select few. The future of equality depends on our ability to make wise choices today, ensuring that technological progress serves all of humanity, not just a privileged minority. Humans are social animals. For millennia, we have thrived in small, intimate communities where everyone knew each other, and mutual support was a cornerstone of survival. However, the forces of globalization and technological change are profoundly altering the nature of human connection. While the internet and social media promise to connect us with people across the globe, they can also paradoxically lead to increased feelings of isolation and loneliness. Online interactions often lack the depth and richness of face-to-face relationships. Humans have bodies, and our well-being is deeply connected to physical presence, touch, and shared experiences in the real world. Online communities can be valuable, but they cannot fully replace the embodied connections that nourish our souls. Building and nurturing strong local communities is therefore more important than ever. This means investing in public spaces where people can meet and interact, supporting local groups and initiatives, and encouraging activities that bring people together in shared physical environments. We must find ways to bridge the digital and physical realms, using technology to enhance, not replace, real-world connections. Finding our tribe in this complex world means looking beyond superficial similarities and connecting with others on a deeper human level, recognizing our shared vulnerability and our shared need for connection. Despite our diverse cultures, nations, and beliefs, humanity in the 21st century faces a set of common global challenges that transcend all borders. These challenges, nuclear war, climate change, and technological disruption, threaten the survival and well-being of every person on the planet. No single nation, no matter how powerful, can solve these problems alone. They demand unprecedented levels of international cooperation and a recognition that, in a fundamental sense, there is only one civilization, and we are all members of it. The threat of nuclear war, though sometimes overshadowed by other concerns, remains a clear and present danger. Similarly, climate change is an existential crisis that requires immediate and concerted global action. Technological disruption, particularly from uncontrolled artificial intelligence or rogue biotechnology, also poses global risks that necessitate shared governance and ethical frameworks. In the face of these global threats, narrow nationalism and isolationism are not just unhelpful, they are actively dangerous. We need to cultivate a sense of global identity and shared responsibility, recognizing that the well-being of our own nation is ultimately dependent on the well-being of the entire global community. We need to strengthen global institutions and foster a spirit of international solidarity. The future of civilization depends on our ability to work together as one human family. In an age of information overload and pervasive disinformation, one of the greatest challenges is simply to know what is true. We are bombarded daily with news, opinions, advertisements, and fake news, all vying for our attention. Social media algorithms often create echo chambers and filter bubbles, reinforcing our existing biases and making it harder to encounter diverse perspectives. This post-truth environment makes it difficult to have rational public debates and to make informed decisions, both individually and collectively. Finding clarity in this chaos requires us to cultivate critical thinking skills. We need to learn how to evaluate sources of information, to distinguish fact from fiction, and to recognize propaganda and manipulation. However, even with the best critical thinking skills, the sheer volume and complexity of information can be overwhelming. One powerful tool for navigating this complexity is the practice of meditation and mindfulness. By training the mind to observe itself and its surroundings without judgment, we can develop greater self-awareness and mental clarity. This inner clarity can be an anchor in the turbulent waters of the 21st century, allowing us to respond to challenges with wisdom rather than reactivity. In a world awash with noise, the ability to find inner peace and clarity is perhaps one of the most vital skills we can develop. The lessons of the 21st century, as explored through the lens of my work, paint a picture of a world at a critical juncture. We face unprecedented challenges stemming from technological revolutions, political uncertainties, and the very real threat to our global ecosystem. From the future of work to the integrity of our personal liberty, from the specter of new inequalities to the urgent need for global cooperation, the tasks before us are monumental. Yet these challenges are not insurmountable. Humanity possesses incredible ingenuity, resilience, and when truly tested, a remarkable capacity for collaboration. The key lies in our willingness to confront these issues with honesty, courage, and a shared sense of purpose. My call, therefore, is for a concerted global effort. We must move beyond narrow self-interest and divisive ideologies to embrace our common humanity. The future is not something that merely happens to us, it is something we create through our choices and actions today. We have the agency to shape a future that is more equitable, sustainable, and humane, but only if we act collectively and decisively. Let us embrace the responsibility of shaping our shared future together.